Good day, subscribers. Thank you so much for joining me today. I am Jeremy. This is the Financial Education Channel, and today we're doing part 2 of the 3-part series, 5 Biggest Myths. And today we're doing the biggest myths about personal finance. Yesterday I broke down a video on the 5 biggest myths of investing in the stock market, and tomorrow I'm going to do the 5 biggest on opening a business and entrepreneurship, those kinds of things. But today we're talking personal finance. What are the 5 biggest myths? I'm going to share this with you guys now. Number 1, by far the biggest myth about personal finance is people thinking that they make too little to be able to save money. The fact that you don't have enough income to actually save money. I can tell you guys, in almost every scenario, you can find ways to cut costs and lower your living expenses so you can actually put some money towards savings, and it will eliminate stress off your shoulders, even if you're living a lifestyle a little less than what you were living before. Just the mere fact that you're able to save money. You're actually able to have money in the bank. You're actually able to make that money into more money. The short-term sacrifice will make for long-term gains and a long-term better life for yourself. So it's all beautiful if you can get a better job or start a business and be successful that way and get more income. That would be ideal. But at the same time, even if you cannot do that, you guys, I'm telling you, every single person can find ways to cut this cost and that cost. You know, maybe find ways to eat a little cheaper. Maybe don't go out as often. Maybe don't spend as much on this or that. All these kinds of things, guys. Live under your means. It's by far the biggest key to financial freedom in life. It absolutely, without question, is the biggest key to financial freedom, living under your means. Because at the end of the day, you could be making $1 million a month. You could be making $1 million a month. But if your bills are $1 million a month also, what does it matter? What does it matter? You're still living paycheck to paycheck, even if you do make $1 million. So regardless of how much money you have coming in, you need to live under your means. That way you have money to put towards savings. So that's by far the biggest myth that, oh, I only make such and such amount of money, so you know what, I can't put anything towards savings. No, cut some costs here and there. You'll be able to do it. And short-term sacrifices make for long-term gains down the road, guys. Number 2, biggest myth is that you need credit cards. You absolutely do not need credit cards. By no means you need credit cards. That's the bottom line, guys. Credit cards will be very beneficial when you're trying to build credit when you're young. Absolutely. Credit cards can help you if you say you're very controlled on how you spend them and you just use them to get the perks of credit cards, because credit cards do have perks if you spend such and such amount of money, but you got to be very disciplined and you got to pay those credit cards off on time, which is why I don't like credit cards, because most people that get credit cards that are Americans, they're very undisciplined. They don't pay them off on time. The debt starts to add up and add up and add up, and that's how you get the average American owing something like $30,000 in credit card debt. Something ridiculous that number is. And I'm like, how does that happen? Because people are very undisciplined, because they don't know how to control it. And once that snowball starts rolling, then it gets bigger and bigger, and then the interest starts adding up to interest. So I preach don't get credit cards, guys, unless you're trying to build credit, or unless you're a super disciplined person and you can use it for business expenses and you pay it off right away every time and you just get the perks of that credit card. Unless you're in that one of those 2 categories, guys, you do not need credit cards by any means. You do not need them. That's number 2 biggest myth. Number 3 biggest myth is I need to pay somebody to manage my money. Okay, I have savings left over. Now what do I do with that money? I need to give it to somebody else so they can manage that for me, because I'm not smart enough to do that. I can't do that. Absolutely not, guys. If you're the type of person, maybe you just don't want to do it because you think it's too much work or whatnot, that's fine. Then pay someone to manage your money. You know, no different than, you know, if I didn't have a wife to help me and whatnot, maybe I might pay someone to clean my house for me, right? I might do that. That's fair enough. So if maybe you're the type of person, you don't feel like managing your money, so you just want to pay somebody, fine and dandy. You can do that. But you do not need to pay somebody. Every person is plenty smart out there to manage your own money and make your money into other money. You just have to have a work ethic, and you have to have a disciplined plan, and you have to execute on that plan. If you can do that, guys, you can manage your money just fine by yourself. You don't need someone else to, you know, pass that money on to, and then they make you a little 3% a year, and then they take 1.5% of what they made you away from that. guys, and then you wind up barely making anything in the long run. So it's like anything in life, you've got to be able to put in the work, you've got to have a plan, you got to execute on that plan. If you can do that, guys, you don't need anybody managing your money. You can do it just fine yourself, and you can probably do it way better than they'll do it, honestly. That's the truth, guys, because no one cares about your money as much as you care about your money. Bottom line. Number 4, I need to buy a house when I'm young. That's absolutely a myth in my opinion. The reason being is when you're young, and when I'm speaking young, I mean under 30, in your 20s, you moved out of your parents, maybe you're living in an apartment or renting a house or whatnot. You do not need to buy a house when you're young. The reason being is sometimes young people, we don't know what the hell we're going to do in the future. We don't know what path we're going to lead on. We don't know who we're going to meet. We don't know where we want to live in the future. Maybe we're moving up the corporate ranks. Maybe, you don't know if you're going to be transferred to another place. Last thing you want to do is go buy a house at 24, 25 years old, and the next thing you know, you don't even want to live in that state anymore. You want to go live somewhere else, or you get promoted to a new position, and then you go move to that other state, and you end up taking a $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 loss on that house, which I've seen so many people do because they buy a house and they're a little young, so they might not know how to negotiate as well. They overpay for that house a bit. The housing market doesn't go anywhere in the short term over that year they own it, and then they have to dump it because they have to get rid of it because they need that money to funnel into the new house, which is in some other state or whatnot. And they don't want to keep paying the mortgage on that house, so then they have to sell it for a poor price. So that's why absolutely it's a myth in my opinion that you have to buy a house when you're young. If you absolutely are 100% certain that this is where I want to live for the future, and you know that when you're young, then bravo, you can do that. But the fact is 95% of people, that are 25, 26 years old, you don't know sometimes. I moved from state to another state, and then I realized that state I didn't really like it. And you know what? I was ready to move again, and then I moved ready again. And now I feel like I'm in a place that, we'll raise the family in, and this is where we'll stay actually. But I'm 27 years old now. When I was 24 years old, I didn't know that. When I was 22 years old, I didn't know that. So I'm glad I didn't buy a house during that time because I might have just taken a huge loss, guys. So when you're young, let things kind of play out. Renting's fine, Yeah, you throw away some money, but you know what? You might throw away a lot less money than if you buy a house and go move somewhere else really soon. Number 5, I need to buy a used car because it will save me a lot of money versus buying a new car. This is another huge myth, guys, that I don't know how it's perpetrated out there, but you're going to save so much money by buying a used car. You're not. You're really not, guys. I've bought several used cars in my time, and I realized that, it's not damn cheaper. I believed in this whole process. Buy a used car. It's going to be so much cheaper. Absolutely false. Reason being is when you buy a used car, let's say you buy a used car that's got 60,000 miles on it. It's 5 years old, 60,000 miles on it, right? Not super old. The mileage isn't super high. Yeah, you get that for a much cheaper price than what it would have been if it was new, but at the same time, you're getting a car that, who knows what the hell happened to that car in those 60,000 miles. It's 5 years old. It's got 5 years of wear and tear on everything on that car pretty much. And what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to then buy a warranty for that car. If you buy a new car, the warranty is included. It's like 3 years. Most places do 3 years, 36,000 miles. That's the 3-year warranty that comes with buying a new car. When you buy a used car, you do not get a warranty. You have to buy the warranty. And the warranty is usually $3,000 to $5,000 more dollars for a 3-year warranty on that car, on top of whatever the car costs. And then you add that on and you're like, shit, you know what? This isn't quite as cheap as I thought. And then things are going to go wrong with that car probably that aren't even on the warranty just because an older car's got wear and tear that the warranty is not going to cover, and then you're going to have to bring that out of pocket. Then when you actually go to get rid of that car, and let's say in the next 5 years, let's say you take a 5-year loan, you get rid of that car's 10 years old at that point, and it's probably got 100,000 miles on it, guys. How many people really want a 10-year-old car that's got 100,000 miles? It's going to be worth very little at that point. So for those reasons, a used car doesn't mean that it's way cheaper than a new car. Maybe on paper it does. Maybe that new car is $24,000 versus a 5-year-old car, which is $16,000 or $15,000, guys. But you know what? At the end of the day, there's a lot of cost when you add up that warranty. And sure, you can say, okay, you know what? I won't get the warranty. I won't have a 3 or 5 year warranty. Then good luck. If something major goes wrong with that car in that amount of time, guys, it's not going to be pretty for you. You're going to have to come out with that cost out of pocket. Or take out, if you don't have savings, then you have to take out some kind of loan at a ridiculous rate or something to get that car fixed. So guys, that's the number 5 biggest myth in my opinion, that buying a used car is somehow so much cheaper than buying a new car. It's really not true at the end of the day. I hope these 5 myths help you guys immensely today. I would love to hear from you guys if you think these are all true and accurate and whatnot. I would love to hear your opinion on other myths about personal finance that maybe I didn't mention on this video. I would love to hear from you guys. Hit that thumbs up button if you enjoyed this video today. And if you have not subscribed, you may want to. I talk about personal finance on the channel, just like we did today. I talk about entrepreneurship. I'm an entrepreneur. I give entrepreneur tips. And we talk about the stock market more than anything on this channel and how to be a successful investor. Thank you for watching, guys, and have a great day.